And the next year, I think Shannon backs up probably the captain of the side.
Captain this side. I bet he wished he was back in that side because this side was pretty average. But in saying that, they tried hard and
Shannon got a bit carved up this year. You was at a city country game. You picked the best Estuary ball team and they put them together and then they play a countryside.
Yeah, I was the coach of the side and one of the selectors. We used to have a meeting every second week down at Phillip Street and I kept pushing for Shannon all year because he carried our side. He carried this side on his back. And anyway, we played on a Friday night. City played country out there at Parramatta. I actually drove Shannon out and I drove him home. He lived down Woolloomooloo at the time in the House Commission down there. And he got in the car after the game and I had all the stats, the tackle counts and all that. And he topped the tackle count. Made his darts out of dummy half, did everything right. He said to me on the way home, he said, how'd I go? I said, you went good, mate. I said, we've got a meeting tomorrow morning at 7:30 at Phillip Street. Me, Levy, Bobby Fulton was a selector at the time and an advisor, and the two country blokes. So I knew there was something wrong when I first walked in because we won. I think we won 34-0 in the wet. They didn't look like scoring a try against us. So probably they didn't deserve to get anybody in. You only picked a 17. And Shannon said to me on the way home, I dropped him down at the Woolloomooloo, and I said, yeah, you went well, mate. You know, I said, you made 28 tackles or whatever it was. And he said, oh, good. And we had to go meet at the juniors the next morning. I went to Phillip Street and straight back to the juniors to meet the coach, the bus to go out to, we're playing Penrith. And Shannon was sitting in the foyer. He was sitting all his own. All the other players were further in. And I was as disappointed as him. They come to me and said, we've got to pick a bloke from country. I said, yeah, right. And I knew what they were up to. It was Fulton and Levy. And they said, the country selectors reckon their best players, their hooker. I said, yeah, but he ain't as good as our hooker. And they said, well, we've got to put someone in. I said, well, pick one of their centres or one of their wingers and throw into the 17. You don't deserve to miss out. Anyway, I got overruled and Shannon missed out. Well, this kid's name was Greg McNamara. I've never seen him since, and I've never heard of him again. But he made a 17-year-old New South Wales side with plenty of good players around him, and Shannon missed out. Shannon went on and played nearly 100 first-grade games.
So there's some politics involved in junior rugby league, even at the state level.
There you go.
Bobby Fulton involved. I'm very surprised there.
Well, mate, and I said, well,
against the South player,
I said, we'll pick both of them. Pick two hookers. True story, this one. Pick two hookers. He said, we can't pick two hookers in a 17-man squad. I said, all right. Well, funny thing, the year before, his son was in the squad, Scott Fulton. We played country down at Illawarra. Not Port Kembla, but we played down there. It was raining. And a young bloke to finish up coming to South, Cole Scully, he was the best player for country, hooker. They picked two hookers that year, Cole Scully and Scott Fulton. So there you go. A great hypocrite was Bozo. Picked his own son.
He done something very similar to John Sutton, but anyway, that's for another day.
Yeah.